morning and welcome to CommSpark. I'm Lauren Worley, your guest host today. And with me I have Ryan Hale from Lithko Contracting. Hey Ryan, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
I guess we can just get right to it. So one of the biggest questions I have is what's one of your proudest accomplishments as far as technology goes for the last 12 months?
Yeah, the team has had a really good 2019 when I think back about it, and there's really kind of three areas that I could focus on. We've made some real strides in digital transformation. I'm happy to deep dive there in a moment. But data analytics and improving our cybersecurity posture has also been two other areas that have been critical to us and top of mind. But I would say the digital transformation piece is probably the most exciting. We're in the construction industry. Construction industry isn't known for being an early adopter of technology. And for us in particular, we've been around 25 years. And in the past 6 or 7 years have had some pretty tremendous growth. Leading up to that though, we did a lot of our business and ran a lot of business on Excel and very manual processes. And when you grow that rapidly, we're trying to figure out how to best scale. And the best way to do that is figure out where to insert technology to replace a lot of those manual processes. So this year we've done that. We've really had a big focus on that around two primary areas. The most important people for us are the ones that are out building concrete structures every day, building parking garages, building buildings. So how can we give them time in their day back so they're not spending their most important hours that they should be building buildings messing around with Excel or writing down information that then gets hand keyed into a system somewhere. So we've really focused on taking technology and putting it in their hands around the way we capture time in the field, so that the time kind of rolls in, they code the time, it migrates through to our ERP system seamlessly. No one has to touch it, no one has to rekey it. Has been a big effort for us and something that we think is going to unlock a lot of gains in the future. We've continued to digitize our safety program. So for us, being able to see what happens on our 200 job sites that are scattered around the U.S. is very important. And the way we used to do that is some guy went out and captured pictures, and then he went back to the trailer or his truck and compiled it in a document, and sent it off to whoever needs to see it. The problem there is you're taking his time to create documents that he should be making observations, and then by the time he does that and gets it out to folks, now that data's stale and the data's old. So can we give him some digital tools to do that where it's right on his phone, it's very seamless, he's taking pictures, he's dictating notes about it, and he's hitting send right away to get it to folks that need to see it and make instant decisions on that. So a couple key projects for us that I think are really going to pay off as we continue to scale and learn how to scale.
Would you say that more of the challenges that you have as far as implementing new technologies, would it be more from a resource perspective or more from a adoption from the end users?
Yeah, it's a great question. So for us, making sure that we have identified the pain points that the guys in the field building buildings are wrestling with, and then finding solutions to those pain points is the most critical thing we can do. There's a lot of cool new technology out there, but leading with cool technology doesn't necessarily do our guys any good. We spend a lot of time working with them to understand what problems they're wrestling with, and then once we understand those problems, going and finding a solution. Once we find those solutions, then it's working with them to make that solution work best for them. So for us, it's aligning their pain points with technology that will make their life better. So we spend a lot of time with our stakeholders doing that. Now, I've got a bunch of colleagues and buddies that say, well, yeah, but that's a slower process, Ryan. Why would you do that? You're not driving change fast enough, are you? And I look at it the opposite way. I look at it that for all that work we do up front to make sure our stakeholders have buy-in, to make sure our stakeholders are involved in the configuration decisions, to make sure our stakeholders understand what technology is out there and how it's going to help them every day, makes the adoption so much better on the back end. So I'd rather spend 3 times as many calories up front to save 10 times as many calories on the back end trying to get people to adopt it. And that's really our approach. Much less about resources, much more about pace of change, and that's what's important to us.
As things are changing digitally, there's a lot more cross-operation and functionality within the organizations. So how are you collaborating with some of the other leaders in the business outside of your team to drive these changes that are going to benefit everyone in the business?
Yeah, it's critical, right? I think it's critical for all IT leaders at this stage, as you see the IT landscape changing, and the senior IT leadership is no longer looked at as just someone that keeps the back office server closets running, right? We as IT leaders have a great opportunity in front of us to truly become business partners. And we spend a lot of our time working with other leaders from other functions or from our 17 business units to really understand what they're wrestling with and to co-create solutions with them. For us, if we aren't giving them tools that help their guys do their job every day, then what are we really doing? Because that's really where we're going to add value. We're not going to add value by having the fastest servers in the closet or the best cloud strategy or the best new platform. We're going to add value when our stakeholders have an issue they're wrestling with, that they're passionate about, that's forcing their guys to do something that prevents them from building buildings efficiently. And if we can provide them with a tool, if we can provide them with the technology to help them do that, that's what we need to do. So we spend a lot of time working on relationships, having conversations with business stakeholders versus tinkering around with a bunch of technology. Relationships and stakeholders is what it's all about for us.
Good answer. Good answer. Well, Ryan Hale, again, from Lithko Contracting, CIO, thank you so much for your time today. For more information, visit comspark.tech.